Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Healing Connections podcast. This is Emmy Vadnais. Today, I want to talk with you about what I believe is the greatest commodity in the universe. What do you think it is? Do you think it's time, money, food, water? While all of these are important and necessary, I believe the greatest driving force in the universe is love. Now, as cliche as that may sound, if you just keep listening, I'll explain why I've come to this conclusion. And I feel that this is something that can help us at a foundational level in all of our own unique consciousnesses. The way that we perceive our inner and outer experiences, how we connect with our inner and outer worlds, which ultimately, I believe we all are part of a greater oneness. And I do believe that we all want to experience that oneness as well, which is why I think love, one of the reasons I think love is one of the greatest commodities in the universe. I believe that love is something that we are all striving to connect with deep down within ourselves. And I don't just say this lightly. This comes from thousands of hours of private sessions, clinical sessions, providing therapy and healing as a mainstream healthcare practitioner, combining holistic and integrative healing techniques with people. And when we get behind people's physical aches and emotional pains, often I would say really always, the pain is lack of love. And it's love of the self, which, because we're all connected in oneness, is really love to others as well at the same time. And that seems to be a wound for all of us. That seems to be what the wound is behind all of these aches and pains, is a lack of self-love and being able to harmoniously and effortlessly give and receive love. So what is love? This is something that's been written about by poets and songwriters, great speakers, spiritual leaders for eons. I'm certainly not the first person to talk about it, but I wanted to highlight it today because when I think about what is the greatest commodity in the universe that we're all really seeking, I do believe it's love. And yes, it's important to have these other resources. We are here on Earth. We need to have shelter, food, be warm, not too warm, have healthcare. All these aspects are necessary for our survival. And when we think about what love is, I just have a few thoughts in my mind, but think in your mind, what does love mean to you? So some words and sentiments that come to my mind when I think about love is care. And what is care? Care is bringing kind and warm attention to yourself or to some other being or creature, maybe even an environment or the earth, in a way that has a kind regard, that has the best interest at heart for what you are caring for. It is softness, gentleness. It's beauty. Great philosophers have talked about this: beauty, wisdom, truth. And it's what we value, what we believe deserves our investment of time. And that's why I think love is the greatest commodity, because we all want to be valued. At the core of our being, we want to be seen, heard, and valued. And while we might get this from others, and hopefully you do in your life, because that's important, it's something that you can also bring to yourself. And this ties into the law of attraction that basically is saying that what we believe is what will actually occur or manifest in our lives. So meaning that if you don't believe that you have value or that you are worthy of others to invest their time in, then they probably won't. But if you believe that to be true about yourself, not only are you going to feel better whether other people want to invest time in you or not, you will likely attract that into your life. And that's really what love is as well. It's who we are attracted to and what we attract. So your own regard for yourself can impact who you draw and what you draw into your life. And that's why I wanted to talk with you about this today, is because the many healing sessions I provided, my own self-care, my own development as a human, has really shown this to me to be the core, again, of every physical ailment. Somebody's dealing with cancer, if they're dealing with some type of joint issue, if they're having chronic pain, if they have some type of mental health condition. And by the way, the mind and the body, which I've talked about, and again, I'm not the first person to say this, is that they're one, they're not separate. And so what we believe and feel about ourselves is how we're going to experience our life, our inner and outer life. And I believe that love is pleasure and goodness. Now, of course, we can take these things too far and we can overindulge, but I'm talking about your pure consciousness. And for those of you who meditate or pray, you've all experienced this, and being human, we know what love is, right? When you were a child, you probably and hopefully loved your parents or a pet or a friend or a sibling. And this is a great driving force, as the saying goes, love makes the world go round, because really, we want to have joy and pleasure, and we want to give and receive. It makes us feel good. In fact, there's research that shows that if you're feeling down, one of the best ways to feel better, aside from giving yourself positive regard and your own self-love to yourself, is doing something kind for others. And what is that? That is a love in action. And the other reason that I wanted to bring up that I believe that love is the greatest commodity in the universe is because providing these healing sessions, as I have over the years, one of the techniques that I've used is what is commonly referred to as energy healing. Now, I've talked about and written about, and other people have, about what energy is. And essentially what I believe a big component, if not the main component of what energy is that focus and intention, but it's the quality of that focus and attention and intention, which is positive, which is wanting to bring the best to the individual you're being with, right? Like imagine that you're going out, maybe you have a date coming up, maybe you're going to be sitting and having a conversation with somebody. You want to bring your best self to that situation. And so the same is with energy healing. When I'm providing that with people, I'm wanting to bring my best self, but also channel from the universe, from the oneness of what we're all connected, the ether, that we are able to bring that positive energy into whomever we're with. And that might be formally as somebody like myself who's worked as a therapist over the years and as a healer, or it could be simply that maybe when you're out on a date or out with a friend or going for a walk with somebody, or you are purchasing something out at a store and you give somebody a nice smile. Because how does that feel to you when somebody is kind to you? When somebody takes the time, right? Time, they're investing their own life energy, their love, their care and focus and attention onto you. It feels good. And so in these energy healing sessions, on a very basic, rudimentary level, what I'm doing and many other people who are providing this service is that we're really bringing light and love into the dark, empty, lonely, separate places within a person's consciousness and being. And there are different pathways of energy. There's the aura, there's the chakra, there's the meridians, and acupoints where the vortices, the smaller and larger, the vortex, singular, vortice, plural, where the energy can go into and out of ourselves. And really it's channeling love to that individual, but doing it in a very specific way. So myself as a healing practitioner, I'm trained to assess where the energy is not flowing well, using my intuition, and then channeling that energy as myself as a conduit. And we all are doing this. Now, I do this professionally, but we all do this throughout the day. You don't have to be in the healing arts to do this. You're naturally doing it, and you may not be aware of it. And I'm hoping to elevate your awareness more about it so that you can be more intentional with how you are sharing your love and light. So another example would be that imagine, and this is probably not too difficult to do, to think of somebody in your life who you don't like to spend time with. You just don't enjoy their energy. They don't feel good to be around. And why is that? When you think about that individual, do you feel maybe uncomfortable around them? There might be some energy that comes off of them. You know, we're all empathic as humans, some more than others, because some people let that energy from others come into them more than others. I happen to be one who feels a lot. That's why I'm in the profession that I'm in. Again, you don't have to be in the healing arts or professional to be an empath, but we naturally pick up on, or can, and it's on a continuum of how well we do that, other people's emotions and where they are with allowing love to flow into and out of them. Okay. And so chances are very high that the people that you prefer to not spend as much time with, AKA avoid, probably are not sharing that love or giving off that love vibe very well. And the people you probably want to spend time with have more of that. Now, depending on where you are and your consciousness and your ability to be with love authentically, you may attract various people or situations in your life that are going to mirror back to you the quality of love that you have within yourself, your own sense of valuing yourself. And this is the dance we do in life, meaning that those relationships can mirror back to us how much love we're able to generate, to give, receive, how loving we really are. So with energy healing, I'm able to assess where that energy is flowing well and where it's not flowing, and to bring, and that's why people like myself are called light workers, because we're able to bring that light. It's that high vibration. And some people say, and I believe that I'm in this camp, that love is the highest vibration in the universe. Now, we want to be aware too of when we're connecting with others, how much are we looking for others to fill us up? And how much are we able to fill our own self up? and to meet people where they are. So that's something to think about as well, because I think that sometimes people can try to, in relationships, overpower somebody else to get what they want. Now, is that loving? Not really. Now, if you're in a relationship and the other individual isn't behaving loving towards you and you're wanting to kind of teach them a lesson, I think it's important to be aware of how you are communicating with them, and also their ability to receive, their receptivity to what you want to share with them. And to me, this is fundamental, because these one-on-one relationships where we're wanting essentially a person to behave a certain way for us to feel better, I think is really the foundation for the harmony and disharmony that we experience in the microcosm and the macrocosm of the world. For example, wars, right? If we were all more loving and kind and considerate and really listened to each other and could all really do that in an authentic, compassionate way, there probably wouldn't be any war. There wouldn't be any wars in the world. And imagine what that would be like. We would be less competitive to try to control and overpower others. Now, I think that healthy competition can be fun. For example, there's like all sorts of reality shows where people are competing with each other with hopefully the intention of bringing the best out in the other. But when we're trying to make others do what we want to do for our interests without considering and not being loving of what that person might need and what they're even ready for in that relationship, that's not very kind. So these are just some things to think about that have been coming in my mind around love. And again, I believe that love is the greatest healer. I believe that it is something that, again, with all the people that I've worked with, I cannot emphasize enough how important I think it is for you to really maybe take some time, if you value this, to evaluate, how much do I love myself? How much do I think I have value and worth? How much am I being respectful and kind to myself? Am I being gentle and caring to myself? Where am I not? And how can I possibly improve that? How am I being the most gentle, loving, and kind to others? And where am I not? And how can I improve that? And I also just want to leave you with one more thought. I do believe that when we are connected to love, we are also connected to our intuition, because being connected to our intuition is stepping back from thoughts and judgment that keep a separateness from our true selves and the connection to the all or the oneness. So, meaning that the more that you can generate and connect with that part of you that can step back from those parts that are not so loving and kind. For example, thinking about somebody who you do really care about, or maybe it's an animal or a pet, and to allow yourself to be in that state of consciousness, you're going to be able to connect more easily with your intuition that has a whole host of benefits that can help your life to flow more easily for you, and for you to also give and receive more easily and effortlessly, and to be more creative. And also to make great decisions and choices about things that come up in your life so that you can live your best life, enjoying yourself, enjoying others, because that's really what I believe we all want throughout the day and at the end of the day, is to feel good. And I know that life throws up challenges, and I understand that this is very real as far as life goes. And it seems that we are here to learn lessons as well. And again, when I look at, because I've worked in hospitals, I've worked in skilled nursing facilities known as nursing homes, I've seen a lot of suffering in my time. And I think that, again, behind all of that, the challenges that we go through with some of those experiences of love and loss is learning how to be better at love. So I hope you found this helpful, and I truly wish you a lot of love. Thank you for listening. Until next time, be well.